Pileggi! Up next, we have William B. Davis! Dummies! No, not that one. And last but not least, we have Annabeth Gish! All right, let's give one more big round of applause! All right, how are you guys feeling today? Thumbs up? Want to check the microphones, make sure everything's working here?
Hello.
Hi, Mitch Pileggi.
Pileggi! I'm so sorry, and I...
That's okay, Annabeth Gish.
Annabelle. It's Annabelle.
Oh no.
Annabelle.
Well, I got 2 out of 3 right. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. But how has your experience been here so far at X-Dest?
It's been great. Everybody's been so nice. It's very well organized, and it's the enthusiasm to see. Usually when we do these things, it's like you have fans from all these different genres and different shows and stuff. But to see a group of just X-Files fans together like this, and it's just it's awesome.
The only thing I'm broken up about is I really wanted to do a panel with Stephen Williams. But the upside is, since I'm not doing a panel with Stephen Williams, I'll probably get a chance to talk.
Well, as a convention virgin, this was actually the very first convention I've been to. I'm impressed as hell, and someone tattooed my signature onto their arm today, so I think that's a win.
You're permanent. And also, we have to mention, we have another guest that we're going to bring up that, was it a contest that you ran?
Yes, I did an organization called Prizeo. We did a campaign for a theater company in Los Angeles that helps disenfranchised youth, and Tasha won the contest. So she's from Colorado, and she gets to sit on the panel with us. Hello.
So obviously, Annabeth, like you said, so this is your very first convention, so obviously the 3 of you have never done a panel before, so this is all new, and this is very exciting. A panel together, I should say. We do have a microphone set up, and since there are so many of you, I don't want to waste my time talking. We're going to throw it right to the audience. If you guys have any questions, now is your time to ask. I ask now that if you want to line up at the microphone with whatever questions you may have. I know it's a little bit intimidating, but now is your chance, guys. This is your moment. Oh. Is anything off limits here today?
We'll see.
Okay. What's your name?
I'm Julia. So I got the most difficult question, the first one. So how was for the 3 of you to reading the Maestro 3 script that the smoking man was actually William's father?
Oh, I know.
Which means
When I read it, I was like, oh boy, here we go. Here goes the shit.
I thought, what a great line to give to Mitch Pileggi. But we should add, as you know, that it's not as simple as it seems.
It's not as simple as it seems. When people first saw the episode and heard the line, there was a lot of backlash and a lot of unhappy. But you know, my answer to that was just watch the rest of the season.
Please watch the rest of the season.
So before we get to this next question, I just got the text message. I have just been informed that next year, because this has been such a huge success, will be X-Fest 2.
And we expect to see each and every one of you back here.
Well, this is all because of you guys, and thank you guys so much. This is incredible. What's your
David
name?
and Jillian aren't even here.
Sorry, I missed that. Who was that you're speaking with?
Skolder and Molly. Oh, did I say that wrong?
There was someone who had a
We
t-shirt,
kid.
right? There was someone who had a t-shirt that said something like, "Sorry, but you guys aren't David and Jillian."
Burn. All right. What's your name?
My name is Mercedes. I have a two-part question. After not working together for so long, was it easy to kind of go back into working together, and did it feel natural?
Yeah, I thought it was very easy. I mean, it's like these characters were such a huge part of our lives, and we played them for so long. For me, at least, it was all there, and just I looked for it, found it, and brought it back to what I was doing. So, I don't know if that makes any sense. But.
Yeah, for me, with you, Mitch, especially, because I had never worked with a smoking man before the last 2 seasons, so it was new with Bill. But Mitch, it was like just immediately like it used to be.
Oh, Monica, why are you pointing a gun at me? Again.
You mind if I smoke?
I love that line, and I love Bill's delivery. It was just absolutely perfect. And like every time he said it, I was like, oh man, this is.
So for me, it's like I've
So
known my whole
the answer
life.
to your first part of your question was, I think, yeah, we got it. It was very easy for us to go back together, and it didn't feel like it'd been a long gap. That's great.
And since the show has been so great, in my opinion, can we look forward to another season after this one?
We're not answering that question because I don't want to get my ass kicked by about half of you.
So that's a yes? Thank you.
We'll see what happens. As David has said, when he was, no, I'm not going to go. Never mind.
My question is for Mr. Davis. My name is Russ. Why can't the Bills win the Super Bowl? Why is that so important to this movie?
The Bills.
Says a man
yes.
from Buffalo.
Oh yes, that's yes. Well, I don't know. I might soften on that. Give me another 20 years. Maybe we'll get there.
Hi, my name's Kelly, and my question is for Annabeth. And so now we ask you about other roles that you've had in a time like this. But what do you remember from Shag, and do you remember how to shag?
Of course, yes. If you guys don't know what the shag is, it's not the London shag. It's the South Carolina shag, which is the state dance of South Carolina. I haven't done the shag for a while, but I have very fond memories of. I played a character named Pudge.
Do it. Do it.
No, I'm not going to do the shag, and I'm not going to sing a whale song. Don't ask.
What's your name?
My name is Ryan, and Mitch, you just seem like a really down-to-earth guy. How is it that you're able to seem so fed up with Skolder and Molly's crap at all times?
Well, you notice when I went into his apartment, the only thing they found in there was a bottle of what was it? X-Lax or Metamucil. That's what it was. Metamucil. I've always, it's funny because when Gabe wrote that in, and it was, I've always described Skinner as being perpetually constipated. So that's why Gabe took that, and he was like, okay, I'm putting this stuff. I thought it was brilliant. I was very, but yeah, it's acting.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Laura, and this question is for Annabeth. And I'm sure you probably can't tell us, but just nod your head or something. Are we going to have some Reyes redemption this season?
This is when I get to be actor constipated. No, I can't say anything.
Nice try, though. You know, they gotta try. What's your name?
I'm Nikki, and my original question was going to be for Annabeth of how you drew inspiration for helping Scully through labor with the whale calls, but you nixed that one already. So my next one is, whenever you were reading your script.
I will say this, that the what we used for the delivery of the baby, I'll never forget it, was cottage cheese and strawberry jelly.
As a former labor nurse, that's pretty close. But my actual question is, your first knee-jerk reaction when you saw that Reyes had turned, what was your first thought since she was such a believer?
My first thought was that it had to be protected, to protect Scully. That was what my first thought was. I mean, I didn't really want to go to the other side, but now I've actually had a wonderful time working with William.
The other side's not so bad,
really. Thank you.
What's your name?
Francis Concha. My question is, who's the skeptic and who's the believer? Which believer? You guys really believe in aliens?
He's a skeptic.
I'm a skeptic. I'm a skeptic.
I'm a believer.
I know earlier we took the poll, but now that it's later in the day, I say we take the poll again. So, where are the skeptics? And the believers? There we go. All right. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Annabeth. I'm from Mexico, and I don't speak very well, but I like to
You're doing great, darling.
She's got your t-shirt on, doesn't she, Mitch?
Yeah.
God bless you.
So my question is, are you expecting, I don't know, the fans keep following you after the end of the X-Files? Do you want to do something else, even something special just for each character, something that you have in mind for us to, like, I don't know, a special episode or I don't know, something. Are
you asking if we think the fans are going to keep following? They've been doing it for 25 years. You guys have been here for 25 years. And we got new generations of fans coming in. I talk to kids that are 10 years old that are binge watching the show from episode 1. So that's I think that's a brilliant answer. You guys are the best fans in the world. So that's all.
And then there's opportunities like this, where there's entire conventions. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Maria, and my question is for William B. Davis. I'm so happy to finally meet you, and you're so nice, but I was wondering, do you ever get yelled at in the street just because everybody hates you as a cigarette smoking man? Especially after By Struggle 3 when you just claim William's yours.
I scream at him every time I see him on the street.
Well, early in the history of the show, I remember being at one of these kind of, no, actually it wasn't at one of these kind of events, I don't think. It was just somewhere. I was in a hotel, and I was going up the elevator, and just looking, you know, how you do on an elevator, you look at the front, and there's another woman standing there looking at the front, and then she looks over at me slowly, and she goes, "Oh my God." you're that person from the X-Files. And I said, yes, with a smile. I am the person from the X-Files. And she ran out down the hall, brought all her friends to come and see me. But no, not too often. I used to get all kinds of, hey, you got a cigarette? But I think most people understood that it's really a story.
Thank you so much.
Or maybe they really, no, that's a long story, but my character is the hero of the show. You didn't know that. Perhaps you hadn't understood that? You still think Mulder's a good person?
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Andrea. Hi, Mitch.
Hey, what's going on here?
No, William, I met you 2 years ago, too. I also met Mitch 2 years ago. But he remembered me, so it's okay. My question, though, is for all of you. I'm just curious to know which episode is your personal favorite?
I have two, 4D and Audrey Polly from... Neither of which were you guys in either one of those?
What are you saying?
But that's all right. My favorite is Talita Kumi, and you weren't in either of those.
I've got a couple. Home is my first. Because I'm a sick puppy. But I mean, there's a couple of them. Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose is great. I love Humbug. Darren Morgan's one of my favorite writers. I mean, I love all the writers, but Darren Morgan is, and he finally put me in an episode, which I badgered him to do for so long. But yeah, but I'm a fan of his, and yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's your name?
Amber. My question is for everyone. What was the most fun episode to film?
Considering that our shooting days were notoriously like 12, 13, 14, 15,
16
hour days.
I worked 21 hours one time. I didn't even remember which show I was doing. I don't,
Yeah, how much fun was... No, never mind.
in a lot of the episodes, and I can't remember. So, to be quite honest. So, one of my favorite moments was telling cigarette smoking man to pucker up and kiss my hand.
You said it now.
What's your name?
Courtney. So, my question was actually what was your favorite episode, but I can't think of another question, so I'm up here.
It's good talking to you, Courtney. Thank you, Courtney.
How about what was your favorite episode? As she runs away.
I think you guys are sitting for this. Beyond the Sea. Home. Never Again. And Avatar with
Really?
your. But I can go on. I don't want to bore you guys.
What's your name?
Hey, my name is Dita.
This is Dita. My Dita.
Hi. I'm from the Mitch Pileggi, which is a fan club for Mitch because we pledge our allegiance to Mitch Pileggi. So this question is for Annabeth.
Oh,
My question is, are you a Mitch's Pledgies?
hell yes.
Thank you.
I will say, like, for some reason, he is just, whoever said that before, down to earth, grounded. Always, Mitch has been, like, kind, warm, welcoming to me when I first joined the show, however many years ago. Just steady as a rock and funny as hell. So I'm happy to be a Pileggi.
Alright, thanks guys.
Did she get a shirt?
Thanks, Dita.
I gave her a shirt.
Did you give her one?
Team Skinner shirt.
I love it.
Bill Davis, do you want a shirt?
I'm gonna
Are you Team Skinner?
Bye, sweetie.
Hello.
What's your
Hi.
name?
My name's Paige. One of my favorite questions to ask is about the best director in television, Kim Manners. So I wanted to ask all of you for your favorite Kim Manners moment, because he was so important to the show.
Too many. I just, Kim was he would talk about rock. He was the rock of the show. And he brought so much energy and he put so much of his life and his heart into the show. So it was, I just every moment that I was around Kim was he inspired me. So I love him to death. And I miss him.
He was so many television directors. I don't want to say don't know much, but are not even particularly interested in actors. They're just kind of interested in getting the shot that they like. But Kim would fool you that way. Of course, he'd been an actor, so he had a sensitivity to what we were doing. And always used to surprise me. You would come on set and you have a chance to just run lines with the other actor that you're going to do the scene with, and you'd be doing that. Then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, Kim is standing there going, watching how you're running your lines. Oh, I thought I was just running my lines. Oh, okay. So he was engaging with your process right from there. And I remember how many times he would say, after we'd done a take that we really liked, and he'd say, I think you've got another one in you, and we'd get to do one more just for the heck of it, just for an actor. No, he was a joy to work with.
Yeah, especially for me joining in late. He was kind of my beacon, and we still, to this day in my household, constantly say whenever anyone has to go up and do something amazing, we all say, "Kick it in the ass."
He would yell that before every take. All right, let's kick it in the ass.
Thank you.
What's your name?
My name's Eric. My question would be for Mr. Davis. Clearly your character is the hero of the show. And I wanted to know what could I do to assist you in your cause to get the rest of these non-believers on your side.
Talk to me later.
Who said anal probe?
Thank you, guys.
I think it should also.
This is a definite X-Files crowd.
I think it should also be mentioned, William, that in 2013, TV Guide voted you one of the 60 nastiest villains of all time.
Good. As it should be.
Hello again.
My question is, I don't remember the episode, but it was the episode where you knocked on the door and Scully answered it, and she had her blouse open, and you see her. I don't know the episode. What was your thoughts when you seen her at Nota's house? Remember the episode?
She answered the door with her blouse open, and I remember it.
And then Nota came behind, and they were like looking kind of suspicious, like,
Well, what was I, Mitch, thinking, or what was Skinner? Because I was thinking, I read the script, so I knew it was going to happen.
Not you, of course. You're like, okay, I got to do this tape, of course. But what was Skinner's?
What was Skinner's? How did he react? Was he pissed? Was he a little,
About time.
About time?
Yep, it's hot damn, it's about time.
All right.
Okay. What's your name?
My name's Connor. I know the show was filmed in British Columbia, Canada-ish earlier on, and then rain-soaked streets, lots of lush forests, and then it got filmed in Los Angeles afterward. How big a difference was
Big.
that? Big difference?
Big.
How so?
Well, when we started shooting in Borrego Springs out in the desert, and it's nothing but glaring sunshine, versus the wet streets of Vancouver. Vancouver was and is like another character on the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's where the show should be shot, and it's not that I want to take work away from Americans, but it's part of the show. It's a huge part of the show. And I've always said, like I just said, it's like another character on the show. So.
BC, the Vancouver area has such a range of different geographies within quite a short distance. So you can have, you can have the deep forest, you can have the city, you can have desert, you can have mountains, and it's all within. Pardon my English, but it's within 200 kilometers.
He knows what that is in miles. He just won't say it.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Melissa. I wanted to know, did you guys ever pull pranks on each other on set?
Yeah, and a lot of them are on outtakes, and some of them I'm ashamed of. I don't know what I was thinking. And if I did them now, I'd be in big trouble. Anyway, so it's weird things. I mean, the sense of humor on the set is pretty body, and so sometimes things will get pretty. Yeah.
Not for me. I don't know what they're talking about.
Do you remember that time you pulled your pants down and you were running down the hall with your butt hanging out? Going, I'm the cigarette smoking man. I'm the cigarette smoking man.
Pucker up, boy.
Pucker this up.
Thank you guys for the visual. All right. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Winston. I have a 64-part question. No, actually.
Well, we gotta wrap this up in 10 minutes, so you get one.
So, the X-Files continues on, and I don't necessarily think this is a good idea, but it's only a matter of time before X-Files the musical. So, that being said, how game are the three of you, and is there anyone in the cast who's...
Dave has been doing X-Files the musical for a while now. He just got done doing a tour of it in Australia.
Annabeth's a dancer. I don't know. I think about possibilities.
We'll see.
I think it would be brilliant.
A disease that makes people sing.
It's not going to happen, but it would be brilliant.
What's your name?
I'm short. Heather.
This is Heather, who has a new decoration on her arm.
Oh, is this the one?
My question is, what was your favorite all-time plot twist?
Plot twist?
Oh, I can answer that. A character who is hit by a rocket and burns up.
A cruise missile.
And then comes back to life.
I honestly, like I said before, it's like there's so many episodes I can't remember. There's probably a lot of plot twists that were really wonderful, but I'm like stupid. Annabeth? What's a plot twist?
Well, I mean, maybe this last 2 seasons.
Oh yeah, there's some shit happens in the
There's some stuff going on.
last episode. So
It's like,
just
what?
Get ready for this.
Congrats on the tattoo. That's awesome. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Valerie, and I was wondering, how do you feel about this season in comparison to last season 10?
Much better. Episode 10, we had 6 episodes to bring a lot of people up to speed, to try to to try to reestablish, where we had come, what had transpired, towards the end of the original run of the show, and there wasn't the time to really do everything that they wanted to do in that respect. This time we had 10 episodes. It was a luxury to be able to go, to develop, to develop storylines and characters the way that they should have done. And we were just too rushed last time.
Do you have a favorite episode?
This season?
Yeah, either or.
Yeah, it was sweet.
Well, my favorite ones are usually the ones I'm in, so. So this season it would be episode 1.
How about Darren's episode? I'm just a Darren fan.
That was the one that you were featured in, right?
No, that was the one that I didn't know.
But I thought your
What? I know. You said it. I can't remember what it was. What was it?
I was going to say that you had an episode this season that featured you heavily, and I thought it was great. I really did. I'm just desperate to become a pledgee in case you don't.
I love Annabeth Gish.
Thank you.
Brother Alley, take a Reggie. Yeah, when I said it, I told a couple of people this story, but when Darren came up and he goes, okay, now I'm going to give you. Well, first of all, when he called me and he goes, okay, you're in my episode. And I was like, great. He goes, you only got one line. And I was like, okay. He goes, but what a line. And so when I went to do it, he goes, okay, I'm going to let you give you a take to let you think, do it how you think Skinner would do it. And I was like, okay. And then he goes, then I'm going to tell you how I want you to do it. And what you saw was how he wanted me to do it. So. And you ain't getting it.
What's your name?
I'm John.
Hi, John.
Hi. So we heard your favorites, and now what is one episode for all of you that you just hated or perhaps weren't satisfied with your performance?
Our perform
or just in general how it turned out, whether or not you were part of it.
I was always, I don't know, the Brady Bunch episode for me was always sort of a weird, I just never could wrap my brain around that one, but that's just a personal opinion.
I wasn't a big fan of my work in Avatar. No. I didn't get it. Who was the old lady? Where'd she come from? Wait 1 second.
Well, thank you.
All right, we're gonna have to rapid fire through the rest of these questions. What's your name?
I'm Ethan. So I have 2 quick questions. One, how do you feel about, do you guys ever wish you would have been asked to be in David Duchovny's Californication?
No.
Come on, Skin Man.
I never saw it, so I don't know. I don't know.
I think Brian Thompson was on an episode.
So my real question was, when you were auditioning for the show, were the characters that you became, were those the characters that you auditioned for?
Yes.
Was he always intended to be a big role, or that just kind of developed?
No, I think that was they brought Skinner in when actually Jillian became pregnant, so she was going to be off for a few episodes. So they brought, and I think they were looking for somebody to play that role, and I had auditioned for the show twice before and didn't get casts, and so when they called me in for Skinner, I said to my agent, "No, I'm not going in because he's seen me twice. That's it. Unless you cast me, you're fine." I don't know where I was coming from with that. What an idiot. So my agent finally talked me into going back in. So when I went back in, I went in with a very, very bad, surly attitude. Guess what?
Well, I didn't even audition for the part that I was cast in. I auditioned for the senior FBI agent. Now, I don't know how well you remember the pilot, but there is a character, a senior FBI agent, who's sitting in the office when they're interviewing Scully. And he had 3 lines. And Ken Cameron, my friend, Ken Cameron got that part. And I just got the part with no lines. So Ken and I have laughed about that over the years. I've laughed more than he has.
Your timing is brilliant. Yes, certainly for the last 2 years of the show that I was on, it was clear that Monica was going to be a believer and spiritual. And then these last 2, 10 and 11, have been different.
Thank you for answering my question.
You bet.
So I'm supposed to end the panel now, but if you guys don't mind if we rapid fire to the rest of them, are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yep.
What's your name?
Dax.
Hello. I understand Robert Patrick's got a commitment to his own show. Why isn't anyone worried about where's John Doggett?
I don't know, why?
You're his boss.
He's on assignment right now. Undercover. Deep undercover. He's on some other show called Scorpion. Yeah.
Monica Reyes is always mourning the loss and wondering where her John Doggett is.
What's your name? Hi, Maura. Thanks for taking my question. Just wondering what your favorite aspect or trait is to each of your respective characters.
For me, it's moral compass.
Yeah.
He has one. You'll see it eventually, maybe, I hope.
Yeah, you'll see it. Power.
Faith.
What's your name?
My name is Sarah. My question is for everybody. Who is your favorite lone gunman?
And why aren't they here? I don't understand.
Next year. Yeah, Tom Braidwood was one of our first ADs, and I've always had affection. But they're all great guys. They're all wonderful guys. But Tom was he was one of our first ADs for many years on the show before he became a big movie star, got his own series. So I guess that is.
Yeah, Frolicky for me too.
I love them all.
Thank you very much.
Did you have a favorite one?
Pro Hickey, really, but they're all my favorite.
All right, our final question. What's your name?
My name is Chase. I wanted to ask, did you guys prefer working on the super serious, intense episodes, or did you prefer doing the more funny, lighthearted episodes?
Yeah, and I did so many funny lighthearted.
I don't think any of us were really in any of the. I mean, Hollywood AD had some humor to it, but I know for the most part, I think most of our stuff was pretty serious that we were involved in. I mean, Did you have any?
No, I mean, but one of my very favorite bloopers is that's been circulating is from you and I and with some scene that's supposed to be serious, but I'm just like, I'm laughing hysterically. I know, the point is we had fun even when we were doing high intense drama, you know?
Because sometimes high intense drama can be so intense that it just becomes ludicrous, and then you just go laughing your ass off about anything and everything.
Thank you.
You bet.
I wanted to ask if there was any final thoughts that you'd like to leave us with.
Thank you all for coming and hanging out with us and spending the day with us here. It's been a treat, and I know some of you came from far off distances, and some of you were local. But to all of you, thank you so very much for spending these few hours with us. It's been a real treat for us.
All right, I wrote down your name phonetically. I'm gonna get it right this time, I promise. All right, one more time. Here we go for Mitch Pileggi. Did I get Thank you guys so much. A couple announcements. Don't forget. Okay, so this is the last call for any auto ticks. They need to be done now, and I have the final prizes to give away for the. Okay, here we go. Okay, I have a DVD. This one goes to Brandon Kerm.